Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the Anime Too Deep channel. Today we're about to dive deep onto the most hyped part of Black Clover. We'll be explaining all 15 devils and their insane powers, starting from the weakest rank to the highest supreme rank like devils such as Lucifero, Beelzebub, Megicula, and even the mysterious Astaroth. If you're new here, smash that like button, subscribe, hit the bell. We got Black Clover breakdowns, power scaling, theories, dropping weekly. Spoiler warning, just so you guys know. This covers full manga spoilers up to the final arc, so if you're behind, pause now and catch up. Let's get on into it. The devils are ancient malevolous beasts from the Underworld, the real big bad behind Black Clover's wildest fights. They carve chaos, possess humans, and wield nightmare magic. Let's break them down. Origins, rank, powers, let's go. First off, what even are the devils? We all know they're not average monsters. They're ancient races from the Underworld, a 7-layered hellhole of endless torment. Higher devils torture lower for fun, and they're all hunger to invade the human world. The devils function on a hierarchy system, which is very strict. They're born into that hierarchy. These comprises of the low ranking, which is basically the weakest level of demons. They have the mid ranking, which are more humanoid, distorted features. There's the high ranking, which they have wings and super tough hearts, and there's the super high ranking, which comprises of demons like Lucifero, Megicula, and Beelzebub. Starting at low rank and mid rank devils, the low rank devils are basically fodder. These are the unnamed weak devils of the hierarchy. Devils like this would most comprises of Lieb, Asta's devil, but there's a theory that Lieb might not be a low ranking devil. Compared to all the other low-ranking devils in the Underworld, Lieb was the only one who've been able to have proper vocabulary and be able to actually understand what others are saying. A step up from the low rank is the mid-rank devils. These are basically Noct's 4 devils, namely Gimodello, Noct's primary devil and the one he uses most often. Gimodello specializes in pack magic, a power that let him create multiple clones and illusions of Noct. These copies are so realistic that the enemies can't tell which one is the real. Gimodello is the backbone of Noct's infiltration and tactical fighting styles, allowing him to overwhelm opponents with sheer numbers and deception. The next one is Slotos, the devil of strength beast magic, the embodiment of power. Slotos grants Noct overwhelming brute strength and beast-like durabilities. When Noct uses Slotos for devil union, his body transformed into a bulky, muscular form designed for close-quarter combat. Slotos is simple, strength, durable, and overwhelmingly a physical force. The next is Plumiri, the devil of agile mobility. Plumiri gives Noct extreme speed, reflexes, and evasive mobility. In Devil Union, Noct becomes incredibly fast enough to dodge one of the high-ranking devil's attacks. Next, we have Wagner, the Shadow Hound Devil. Wagner specializes in creating shadow-based beasts that tendrils that can attack and restrain opponents. He enhances Noct already potent shadow magic, giving him additional creatures to command and extend his control over the battlefield. Together, these 4 devils form the core of Noct's unique fighting style. Next, we have the high-rank devils. If you guys remember, in the Elf arc, the first high-rank devil we got introduced to was Zagred, who was the true mastermind behind the entire elf massacre incident. For centuries, he manipulated both humans and elves from both the shadows and the twist in their emotion so they could manifest in the living world. Zagred uses the most terrifying power of word magic, a reality-bending ability that lets him bring anything he speaks into existence. With a single command, he can summon weapons, unleash explosions, regenerate his body, or call forth the most monstrous beings made of pure malice. In the Shadow Palace battle, Zagred demonstrated the full power of his word magic. When he said pierce, black blades instantly erupt towards Lumiere, Asta, and Yuno. When he commands explode, the palace detonates around the fighters. This guy was so freaking broken, even characters like Merleona and Yami were overwhelmed in the fight versus Sacred. We then move on to the Supreme Devils, which are the strongest devils in the hierarchy and the strongest in the tree of Cliffoff. The ruler, Lucifero, who's feared for his near absolute control over gravity. His gravity magic allows him to crush anything and anyone, creating fields that immobilizes foes and wrap the battlefield itself. Even a partial manifestation through Dante, Lucifero overwhelmed entire squads of elite magic knights, proving raw force alone cannot stop him. He can generate localized black holes, manipulate gravitational pressure to pin enemies, and unleash attacks capable of wiping out formation with ease. In full manifestation, it required Asta, Yami, Nopt, and Leeb working together to survive, with the final victory only possible by slicing his heart. Post-regeneration, Lucifero unmatched destructive potential establishes him as the deepest and most dangerous supreme devil of the Cliffoff tree. Next we have Beelzebub, the spatial devil. Beelzebub wields terrifying spatial magic, giving him near to complete control over space itself. Through his host Xenon, he could create massive portals, distort dimensions, and instantly transport enemies or attacks across the battlefield. Even at 50% manifestation, he demonstrated country-level destructive power, capable of displacing armies and turning the terrain into a chaotic maze of warped space. His magic is both offensive and strategic, allowing him to manipulate the battlefield to his advantage while keeping opponents disoriented. In theory, a full manifestation of Beelzebub could have destroyed entire nations, showcasing the supreme scale of his abilities as a ruler of the Cliffoff tree and making him one of the most dangerous spatial manipulators in the Underworld. The next supreme devil is Astaroth, the time devil. Astaroth is theorized to be the supreme time devil, a being capable of manipulating time itself. While he remains largely unseen in canon, fans' theories suggest that his powers were split between Asta and Leeb, granting them part of his temporal influence. His magic likely allows him to accelerate, slow, or freeze time around targets, agent matters, or alternate events on a massive scale. As a ruler tier devil, Astaroth's potential battlefield control would make him nearly unstoppable, capable of neutralizing any opposition by rewriting the flow of combat. Though he has no direct fighting scenes, his presence in the hierarchy implies a supreme intellect and a power designed to dominate over both space and time. The next supreme devil is Magicula, the Curse Warden Devil. Magicula specializes in Curse Warden magic, a terrifying ability that places unavoidable curses on her enemies. While possessing Vanica, she demonstrated curses that blocks regeneration, drain blood flow, and inflict lingering lethal damage that could only be mitigated by powerful healing magic. Her heart is located in her head, allowing her to survive direct attacks, including Noelle's Valkyrie Tress, acquiring arcane level and saint magic to finally defeating her. Magicula is a master of long-term battle attrition, able to wear down even the strongest fighters with patience and precision. Her curse magic represents a subtle but deadly approach, contrasting the raw destructive force of the devils like Lucifero and Beelzebub. Next we got Adremolach, the dark magic devil. Adremolach remains one of the most mysterious supreme devils, known primarily for his connection to dark magic. He is hinted to be a strategic powerhouse, potentially the foe Yami faced in the Underworld lore. While his abilities remain unseen, his magic likely manipulates shadows and curses, creating destructive attacks and battlefield control without revealing his entire strength. Even in minimal appearances, Adremolach's name conveys a supreme presence, suggesting that his influence is enough to shape events in the Underworld without needing constant direct engagement. We then have Baal, the lightning Fire Devil. Bal is speculated to wield either lightning or fire magic. Though he has not been directly shown, fans theorize that his magic involved devastating elemental strikes capable of large-scale destruction. As part of the Qliphoth hierarchy, Bal is considered an elite member, likely able to unleash area of effect attacks that rival country-level devastation. Though unseen in combat, his reputation within the tree implies a devil capable of overwhelming most opponents with raw elemental powers, balancing offense and strategic chaos. Next we got Lucifigus, the Shadow Devil. Lucifigus is another largely unseen member of the Supreme Devils, possibly combining shadow manipulation and temporal abilities. His magic is theorized to provide stealth, battlefield control, and ambush potential. Though canon offers little confirmation, Lucifigus represents the archetype of a devil whose threat comes not from raw strength, but from the tactical disruption and manipulation, likely overwhelming enemies by controlling both space and the time from the shadows. Even though little is seen of him in the manga, he is a Supreme Devil. Next we got Supreme Devils Nama and Lilith. Nama and Lilith are terrifying duos of Supreme Devils, tied to the first gate of the Qliphoth tree. And when they showed up in the Spade Kingdom, they make it very clear that they're not just powerful, their delight in playing with their opponents. Nama, demon fire magic, lets them incinerate literally anything, even intangible things like shadows, and they can even turn parts of their bodies into living flame to dodge or absorb attacks. Lilith brings the opposite but equally dangerous power with demon ice magic, creating freezing blasts, shards, and pure ice, and even turning their body into ice itself to move through their own magic. During their fight with Nock, they unleash a barrage of fiery and icy attacks, trapping him in a blazing fire or chilling frost. When Nock tries to seal them, they resist with both demon fire and demon ice in a brutal display. At one point, after Nama is severed, Lilith fuses with them, forming a single stronger devil whose combined fire and ice magic is devastating. In their fused form, they even create a massive freezing sun, unleashing columns of ice and fire so powerful they threaten the Spade Kingdom. Their magic scale is so high that they toy with Asta before ultimately being cut apart during Asta and Lee Devil union. Their sadistic joy at being feared, their fusion, and their raw magical abilities make them one of the most dangerous pairs in the entire Qliphoth hierarchy. And that's a wrap on the Supreme Devils of the Qliphoth tree. From Lucifero gravity-crushing power to the sadistic fusion of Nama and Lilith, these devils has turned Black Clover from a typical shonen into an epic battle of gods, devils, and anti-magic legends. From major players like Zagred, Leeb, and the 10 Supreme Devils have all shaped the story, and even though the Qliphoth invasion was stopped, the final arc hints at more chaos with Lucius, the undead, and maybe even new devil yet to appear. You think about the Astaroth and Leeb theory, the theory of Leeb also being a high-ranking devil? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button to support the channel and hit that subscribe button for daily and weekly Black Clover content. With that being said, I'll see you anime fans another time. Stay safe, stay blessed, and stay out of trouble. Peace.